I am more than the beauty that is my melanin. I am more than my skin color. I'm smart, I'm intelligent, and I have ambitions, and those ambitions should be acknowledged. The color of my skin doesn't define me because I'm not my skin color. I'm more than that. My black is beautiful.
So how do you feel as an African American female in 2015?
I feel normal.
African American women they have like more of a burden on their shoulders, I guess.
Feel like a regular woman, like I can do whatever. I can do the same thing that a guy can do, that a white female can do, that a white man can do.
The way you dress, your hair, your makeup, your attitude, all those things are important.
I feel that my opportunities are limited, but so I feel like I have to work twice as hard to get the same opportunities as white women would get. But then once I am afforded those opportunities, I feel like I am sort of like a spokesperson in a weird way.
I have to make sure that I don't act out in any way.
There's more pressure on them to do well because we're like the most underestimated group of people.
I think it's true of women in general, but I think a lot of times for Black women, we very, very much get put into archetypes.
I have to make sure that I don't act out in any way that would make people think that all people like me act that way.
Whether it's film or TV or movies, you can be the pretty girl or this girl or that girl.
Stereotypes, like, not all Black people are challenged, like when it comes to reading and math and social studies and science.
We do face some light discrimination, I'd say.
Whatever situations thrown your way, you do have to conquer all the stereotypes that are out there about Black women.
When people, I think when they see us, they just see our skin color. First thing people see is what's in front of them, and a lot of times that can deter them from giving you those opportunities. But
whether asked to be or not, I feel that I'm always representing my race and also my gender.
Nothing's given to you. You have to work really hard for it. You have to overcome a lot. Doesn't mean that it can't be obtained. Doesn't mean that you can't reach those goals, but there are obstacles that are out there.
As an African American female today, we have very important roles.
I definitely think there is a relationship between my roles and my opportunities.
My role in today's society,
my job in today's society.
But as an African American woman, my role in society is
I do feel an inherent or implicit responsibility to be a role model.
To be a role model to other people like me, other people who are lighter skinned, other people who are mixed race.
It's never just me. It's never just me representing myself, but it's me representing a wider array of people.
Because I am a woman of a particular age, I am over 60, I'm 62 years old, I see my role as encouraging African American women who are younger than me.
First of all, to carry on the legacy and the traditions of those who came before us.
Is to be the best that I can be and to be an example for other women who are seeking advanced leadership roles in whatever discipline that they may be.
An array of people, whether it be people from growing up in my area, people who go to my school, people in my discipline, people who identify with my race or my gender.
We have to give it to our younger people so that they won't forget what went on to get us to where we are.
Education is the platform for everything.
I feel like I have to set an example, especially at my school where it's not diverse.
I think when you're younger, kids are more loving, more sensitive, and then when you get older, you become more of a competitive threat, I think.
I feel like it's in school, but it's like indirectly. So I feel like it's not being discussed in school is like an issue.
I am in education, specifically higher education. I'm Vice Provost, University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Why do you think that there aren't a lot of African Americans in your GT and AP classes?
I think it's because a lot of us struggle and we're not when to get that extra help, or we don't have connections to get that extra help. It definitely depends on your circumstances.
And I share that because I think in many ways being in education in some ways sort of filters me from some of things that I know exist in this world, some of the experiences that I know exist, because in education we work to address a lot of these inequities.
So do a lot of your Black friends share the same classes with you?
I have one or two, and like with me that'd be like 3 out of like a class with like 20, 21, 22.
You know, African American females, I'm probably 1 out of, it's probably like 3 or more.
Problems don't just go away if you ignore them. I think that things do get better when people are more educated.
I will never forget.
Where would you say that you face the most struggles or the most discrimination towards your race? Like, would you say it's in the workforce, in public, or more so in school?
I would say discrimination happens most often when we can't select who we hang around.
Yes, definitely in the workplace. Growing up as a young woman, I can remember working a job as a housekeeper. And I didn't feel, it was in a predominantly Jewish organization that I worked for, and it was only about 3 African American people who worked there, people who worked for that organization, and we did see a lot of it every day.
I haven't really experienced discrimination myself because I'm light skinned. But I think discrimination has to do with like darker you are, the more
discrimination.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's more in the workforce. I think it becomes a little more competitive in the workforce. So as a woman, and if you're educated and you're smart, quote unquote, then you're seen as a threat. So of course the first thing that you will be attacked for is being Black, and then of course being a woman.
So a lot of times, just a matter of like de facto segregation in social settings, we just kind of come together, people who are like us. And so consequently, like I wouldn't feel very much discriminated against the people that I choose to hang out with. I think discrimination comes up most often in the settings such as like academics or professional settings where you're forced to be with people who just don't think the way that you do.
Race wasn't a factor and people just saw you for you. What would you want them to see?
I would want them to see me as just as important as them, just as smart, just as educated, just as easy to get along with, not a threat, not someone that they have to be afraid of or someone they have to look down to. At the same time, you never want them to see you less than.
I think I would want people to see my personality, what I can offer, my skills, and things that are really just at the core of a human, that a lot of times when you're not a certain race or whatever anybody prefers, they don't take the time to see that. So I just want them to see me as myself and not as what they had a preconceived idea about what I am.
You don't let race be a barrier to what your God-given talents are and what your assignment is.
I just would want them to see a woman, a girl, someone who's versatile, someone who's strong, someone who can own her own space, but someone who can be many different things.
I'm very proud of the fact that I'm African American and that I am female, but more often than not, I'm sharing. I belong here.
Right.
Because I've got some information that you need.
Just seeing me, see the hard worker, the dedicated person that's full of life, person that's committed, the person that's loyal, intelligent, articulate. Just see that. Definitely not my color.
My color does not define me. My color does not define me. My color does not define me.